Peace out. Down low. Something, something.
No, no.
Oh.
Peace up. A-Town down. Hey! Masha.
I like that. Masha. Veto. Ouch.
Hey, process life.
Hello everybody, this is Marshall and thank you for watching. And for those who are new, welcome to The Process. And this is my lovely, adorable, handsome, sexy husband,
yes,
Vito.
The process life, where your life is a process.
We are back with another video. We're going to be talking about dating outside your race.
Yes, your race.
So my thing is, when you're dating outside your race,
You're so cute, even though you don't even feel it. You're so cute. Even though you're going through your stuff, you are just as cute as you can be. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. It's the time of the month. Okay, she's weak right now. She's in pain at the same time. She went through some things. Still going through some things. She almost there. She almost made it. You see the light at the end of the tunnel? You yet holding on?
I've been in the hospital, haven't I?
Yeah.
I don't even know about that.
You yet holding on?
I'm yet holding on.
You just keep on keeping on, baby. But my baby's a trooper right now. Y'all don't know. She putting a smile on her face and she's looking all glamorous and beautiful and everything as usual. But hey, she's struggling right now. She in pain. You in pain, ain't you? I know you in pain. That's why you looking like that. She in pain. So she trying to get through this. My stupid behind, I just keep interrupting her. But go ahead on, baby. You keep on keeping on, baby. Go ahead.
All right, you guys. In regards to dating outside your race, first of all, let me give you my testimony in regards to dating outside my race. I have. Yes.
Oh, yes, you did. I don't think it was dating, though, was it? What's it called?
Well, we went on a date.
Okay.
We went out on a date. So people's definition of date is totally different. But I
do
did
not
go
tell
out
them
on a date with this guy.
Okay.
I'm not.
You don't think I remember? I remember.
Y'all, we're going to get through this video. I did date someone outside my race. And I was very hesitant to do it because I personally was not attracted to the person.
You don't think he was cute?
No.
You don't think he was cute, babe?
He was cute, but I wasn't attracted to him. Okay. Does that make sense? Like, someone can be cute, but you just don't have any attraction for them.
He was taller than you.
So I did. I only did it because I had people and friends around me who say, Marshall, you can't be judging people by their race. You can't be judging people by the color of their skin. You never know where, God may be leading you to somebody and they may not look like you. They may not have come from the same background. And when I was listening to this, okay, it made sense.
Right.
So I gave it a try.
Why did you give it a try though? Seriously.
Just to to see. Because I didn't want to be judging, and I didn't want that to be my driving force of not being open to what God
were you
had
already prejudging even before someone said something?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I repented, got it right.
Okay, good. I like that when you just said that.
I repented, got it right, and I said, okay, one dinner won't hurt.
Key thing you said, you repented.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Now remember that, y'all.
So I did, y'all.
Okay.
So we went out, and
how was it?
He wasn't mine. I'll put it that way.
Was he a gentleman?
He was a gentleman, but he just wasn't my gentleman. Okay? But he was someone that was outside of my race. Okay. Growing up, I used to like people that wasn't the same race as me, but as I grew up, I kind of knew what I liked, and I kind of was attracted to my own, not because of they're my race. It's just that's what I was attracted to. Okay. Okay. So, let me ask before I get into the video, babe. Have you ever dated outside your race? Because if he has, I don't know about it.
No, I never had. Ask me, did I want to?
Did you want to?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Why you didn't?
It was one of them things.
Keep it real.
Okay.
Transparency. That's what they love about us. Keep it real.
It was one of those things where I wanted to date outside my race, and I had a specific race color that I wanted to date just to see
What's that?
How it was. It was a Caucasian.
Okay.
I wanted to see how it was because you hear stories.
You was curious.
I was very curious because you hear stories from other men who have dated, Caucasian women, and the difference in what they experience versus what they experience with the African American women. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to experience it just to see what they were talking about, and but it wasn't a driving force. It wasn't a thing where I had to go out there and I pursued it. I was like, okay, if it happens, it happens. But I was still keeping my, what you say, options open like that. I was still keeping my options open that if it happened. But ask me, did I try to look for a Caucasian woman?
Did you try to look
Yes,
for
I did. Yes, I did.
And why did you try to look for a Caucasian lady?
Because I wanted to try. Listen, I wanted to try something different. This is the flesh. This is the flesh talking.
Yeah.
I wanted to try something different.
It's the human part of you that's
right.
talking.
I wanted to try something different. I wanted to see would it be a better outcome versus my past outcomes that I've had with African American women. And that was the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah. And majority of the time, men, that's basically why they do that.
Okay.
Yeah. It is because they want to see if it's going to be a better outcome, or they were told that it is a better outcome on that side than it is this side. And what they're not understanding, it may be a better outcome for that person because that could have been the person that God wanted them connected with. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're not being told the whole story and the whole truth.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to put this out there before I give y'all my commentary. First of all,
we give you our commentary.
First of all, I don't see anything wrong with you dating outside your race as long as it is God.
G-O-D, baby.
If God is in the midst of it,
yes.
Love has no color.
No, it doesn't.
It has no
boundaries.
No nothing. It's God. And you just be obedient.
That's right. Except you want the person to kill you.
And you don't want to judge individual because they don't look like you or come from the same background as you.
Exactly.
And you want to keep your options open for God
especially
to move in your life.
Yes.
When you're so hung up on your list, they got to be this, and that, and they got to look like this, and that. You pretty much you slim your options. You limit the
God
options,
in the box,
and you're putting God in the box to, okay, well, God said, well, I can't work with your list. I'm going to go over here. And when you're ready, I'll come back.
Right. Absolutely.
When you're open for God to do whatever he wants to do because you trust he's going to do whatever he wants to do.
Say it again.
Trust. It's trusting God. Regardless of what this looks like, you trust God's ability to hook you up with the best one for you. He knows you better than you know yourself. He knows that person better than that person know themselves. Okay? So in regards to that, if it is God, go. If it is God, obey. And do not look at the outward appearance. However, let me tell you a dead giveaway that it may not be God.
Okay, what is that?
When you deliberately go searching for someone outside of your race, deliberately, because you feel like your race is trash, or you feel like your race did not live up to your expectations. One of my pet peeves are this. If you want to date outside your race, I don't care. You want to marry outside your race, don't care. But my issue is when you do that, do not put your race down in the process.
Absolutely.
Because that makes me see the motive behind why you with the person that you're with.
Right.
Are you with the person because this is who God put you with and this is who you was attracted to and God orchestrated this relationship, or did you do it because you mad with your own kind? And that's what I see all so often, is that we step outside our race because we feel and believe another race is better than our own.
Right. And that's not.
That's bitterness, that's strife, that's unforgiveness, that's judgmental, that's condemnation of your own. So what makes you think your current relationship is going to last?
There's nothing but flesh when you're doing that. It's nothing but flesh. Because you're seeking out who you believe and think that is the better race than what you believe it is. God ain't got nothing to do with that, because God doesn't look on the outward appearance. God looks on the heart of a person. And
we got to be very careful not to generalize a whole population of people based on their my own experience.
Right.
I have been in relationships, y'all. They have cheated on me.
Yep.
They lied.
Yep.
They manipulate. They abuse in regards to verbal abuse. They're controlling. I've seen it all. And guess what? It was my race. But guess what happened? God delivered me from every last abuse, every last cheat, every last judgment, whatever. I was able to forgive them because I allowed God to come in to cleanse me. If I didn't allow God to do that,
you still would have hurt
every person that I saw of the same color as me would have been called a dog, a creep, disgusting, a cheat.
Or if you went on the other side, that person would have been called a dog because he's a man.
Right.
Period.
Whenever we hook up with someone that has not been healed from their previous relationships, beware. You will be the punching bag.
Yes, you will.
You will be bled on. You could be the best thing ever.
Right.
But they can't recognize the best thing because they haven't been released and delivered and forgiven of the bad things.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful when we hook up with people. I don't care what color they are. If it's not God, leave it alone. And be careful when you hook up with somebody. And if they are of a different race, let me tell you something. If they can talk about their own race the way they do, it's just a matter of time that you're going to get it too. It's just because they're showing you their heart. They're showing you their motive. The only reason why Vito was looking out is because he wanted to see what the other guys were talking about, because the whites must be better than the blacks. The browns.
Well, they didn't say that.
I know, but I'm just saying in general.
But when they put it out like that, you can assume or insinuate that's what they're really saying.
That's what they're saying. You know, we've already have to face stereotypes in regards to being a black woman, a black man. We have these already, and as black women, we should be lifting anybody up our own, because we have been the ones that's always been at the bottom, and we have to lift ourselves up. That's why I always say, ladies, why can't we compliment each other? Why can't we love on each other? Why do we have to be jealous of each other or envy of each other? When we're helping each other in numbers, that's how far we can get. Yeah. But we have this crab mentality. And I'm so sick of people blaming slavery on today's situations. Yeah. Yes, but there's something called God.
But there's another type of slavery that
God
they have not
has delivered us from that type of slavery. Right. But we're still living in the modern day slavery.
Right.
We're walking around as free as you think you want to be.
Right.
But in your mind, you're still in bondage.
You're still a slave. In your mind, you're still a slave to your flesh.
And that's not just black people, y'all.
Right.
That's everybody.
Any human being.
Every human being has some form of slavery
in them. That's right. Because you could be a slave to the system. You could be a slave to the government. You could be a slave to your job.
To your money.
You could be a slave to your money. You could be a slave to
your family, your friends,
your family. You could be a slave to anything. So slavery that is existing now in the modern day, it looks different, but it's the same spirit. But it comes in different entities because now the world is more, would you say more modernized, more spread it out now, you know. So it's not like, you know, back then you had Bam, it was just set right there. But now you have everything. You got technology now. You got everything out there. So now slavery is consistent of so many things. It's a wide, broad range of many things.
I also want to mention this. Extra, extra, hear all about it.
Hear what?
Not all black men cheat. Guess what? Not all white men cheat. Not all Hispanic men cheat.
Keep going.
And
Puerto Rican,
and you can name them all. And I want you to put, they do not all cheat.
Asian. Yeah.
Females do not all have attitudes or do not have this gold digging mentality.
Yeah.
It's amazing when it's dangerous when you take your own personal experience and that's all you have and generalize everybody and say, well, all men, or almost all men, or a lot of.
Yeah.
My question is, what's your definition of a lot?
Yeah.
Is it your circle of men that you have experienced? Is it the majority of a population? What is an individual's definition of a lot?
Right.
Because a lot could be 5. A lot could be 5,000.
No, we have a tendency
but we
to
have to be
exaggerate
very, very careful when we use our own special experiences and even surveys, because surveys can be a little skewed, if you will, because people can make any survey match whatever they want to match to bring about a type of narrative to feed the people.
Only God is the perfect surveyor.
Right. So if you're not healed of your relationships, black, white, red, green, yellow, I don't care, you need to be very careful entering into another relationship, because that person is going to have to deal with the hurt and the abuse that's not really toward you, but it's really toward the past that hurt the person.
Can I say this? Also, we have to remember too is that when we, let's just use an example. Let me just use myself as an example. When we, when I went through what I went through, and I wasn't healed, and I jumped into a relationship, I found out that person who I was in a relationship with, they wasn't healed either. It wasn't just me, but it was me as being the man
to pursue that you was pursuing.
Yeah, it was my responsibility, because the man is going to pursue the woman, and the woman, which women, they have this thing where they are more per se, they are more like waiting at the door for you to open the door, so they can see that you're interested in them, and then you can walk right on through the door. If you feed their emotions, if you know how to feed their emotions. But men, they go after something what they see with their natural eyes. They're not even thinking about whether or not you're emotionally healed. And they're not even thinking themselves that they're healed, because they don't even recognize that they're hurt. Or they don't even recognize that they need to be healed, because they operate off of pride. So when I, myself, was, single and pursuing and making these decisions to get involved with these women, I didn't even realize that I needed help, and also I needed to be healed. It wasn't revealed to me until after God approached me. No one came and told me, literally in the natural, Vito, you just got out of a marriage. You don't need to do nothing. You need to sit and you need to wait on God. You need to go through your process and allow God to heal you. And however long it takes for God to heal you, don't focus on trying to be with nobody else. Develop your relationship with God. Learn who God is for yourself. Let God shape you and mold you to be the son that he desires you to be. And that's going to take some time. No one has ever came and told me that. So I literally jumped from one marriage to another relationship, and then from that relationship to another relationship. But everyone that I jumped in that relationship with, they needed to be healed too. So what I'm saying is that God is perfect when it comes to him connecting. Now, are you going to be healed from every single thing to the point where you're going to be perfect? No. But when God is in the midst of it, he knows what needs to be healed before he connect both of you together, and what is okay for you to be married. After you be married, then he will heal some other things in your life. But he knows that the first part of the foundation of the connection is not going to affect the relationship with each other and build a relationship with each other, because he has already healed you in your process. Because you and I, when we got married and God connected us, there was still some things that God still needed to do in both you and I, even after our marriage. But the first portion of us being connected, he had already healed us from what we got healed, what we needed to be healed from our past, so it won't affect the first part of the foundation of us being connected. You know, and then from us being connected, then we started developing our relationship even more, because nothing was in the way, you know. But yes, there were some things after our marriage that God still needed to heal, but it didn't affect us being understanding with each other, you know, learning each other. You know, those are basic things. It would have hindered our communication. It would have hindered our sexual intimacy with each other. It would have hindered us in the financial area. Those are the basic foundation things that what God heals you from. And you learn how to, because when we learn how to trust each other, not after we got married, but even before we got married, when we was courting, we was trusting each other, because we had a bank account together while we were courting. So therefore, that goes to show you that we was trusting each other. So what I'm saying is that when God does it, then both parties are going to be healed from the things that will help that foundation be solid. Okay, so if two people come together and God didn't put them together, you're going to see that foundation already being messed up from the start. You know, whether it be trust in each other, communication with each other. We still had a communication issue where we had to still communicate, but it wasn't that dramatic to the point where we wanted a divorce or we wanted to not be around each other. No, we had to still learn how to communicate with each other and be open with each other. But I'm talking about when God first connected, that the healing for both parties are going to be, they both are going to be healed in some areas. Not in every area, but just in the basic foundation that will help that foundation not be broken.
Which is different from meeting someone and they have hate in their heart for a population of people that look like them, because they believe all of them all of them are the same.
Exactly.
That's totally different from the little changes here and there that God wants to make while you're married. We're not talking about that. We're talking about when you're deliberately, intentionally entering into a relationship because you're angry with your own race. I don't care if you're angry with the whites and you're trying to go find a black girl or a man, or if you mad with blacks and you're trying to find the other race. I'm talking about a race, whatever your race is, and you're watching this video. If you're searching for another race because you dislike your own, that's not God.
No,
because that's hatred. And that's not God. God is God of love. If I was to marry someone outside my race and I know it's God, guess what? I'm still going to lift up every other race that God has created.
That's right. Because you're going to see the love in that person.
I'm not going to throw my own under the bus because I feel like I'm all that now because I'm with somebody else.
Of a different race.
Of a different race.
No.
Come on, we got to get it together. When God does things, it's in love. It's not done through anger or bitter or strife or abuse or control or manipulation or what people did to you. You know what? All men are dogs, because all the men that you have dated were dogs. Doesn't mean. But then you have to ask yourself.
Wait a minute now. Hold on.
If you dating dogs.
What they make you? Did that make you a woof-woof?
You're the one dating, and we're going to talk about this in another video in regards to multi-dating. Because a lot of times, people have told you, some of these celebrities, some of these big wheels have told you, it's okay to multi-date. How you going to know what you like?
Don't go there. Don't go there. Let's wait till the next video.
All right. Anyway, so when you date outside your race, make sure it is God. Whether it's in the race or out the race, make sure it's God. And if it is someone that doesn't look like you and come from the same background as you, make sure it's not because you hate your own.
Right.
And that's why you're seeking over here.
Come on, man.
Because you will miss your blessing.
Yes, sir.
Because the same hatred you have for a race could be the same race that God want to bless you with, but He can't because you're not. You have to repent.
Right.
God, if there's something in me when I see my own and I cringe, ask God to help you, heal you, deliver you from that.
And can I say this?
And wait a minute, even if the people who hurt you never apologize, don't wait for an apology. Ask God to help you forgive them anyway.
Can I say this? You know, we talked about this a while ago, a long time ago, some years ago. And the thing is that we have been conditioned to see color. We have been in a system that shows us color. On the application, they have white, black, Asian, Hispanic,
other,
Latino, other. Listen, y'all, all of this stuff stems from you know where, the government. It's all about dividing people.
Thank you. Yep.
It's all about division. If they can get a certain group to be here, a certain group to be here, a certain group to be here, and a certain group to be here, that means that they have the power to keep you divided. So this is what they're doing. And this is what they did. And this is what has been established in all of us. And we have been programmed to believe that. You white, you black. Okay, what if it wasn't no color at all?
What if everybody was just a human
What
race?
if everybody was just a human being? Because in the beginning, God created man and woman, right? And they were a human being. God never put a color on them.
No.
Had God put a color on them, He would establish them as being this color. See, a lot of times we get this thing confused. That's why there's neither Jew nor Greek. We are all up under one in the body of Christ. See? Yes, at one time, the Jews were what the Lord had. Okay, the Jews comes first because they were the chosen people. Now, the Gentiles after that. But then after Christ died, He said, you know what? Forget all that. I died for everyone, and everyone is welcome in my kingdom. No matter what color you are, no matter what blood, because see, it wasn't pertaining to the color, it was pertaining to the blood. See, He was identifying the Jews because of their blood. See, He identified the Gentiles because of their blood. Where they came from, where the Jews came from. But He said there's neither Jew nor Greek, nor bond nor free, for we are all one up under Christ. So we have been really programmed to believe that this race is better than that race is better, this race is lower than that race, and this race is trying to struggle to get to that race, or this race over here is trying to struggle to get over here. See, it's a division thing, is what man has established. But in the eyes of God, our Father, He looks at none of that. He looks at all of us as His children, those who are chosen to be His children, and He looks at all of us as human beings. Human beings.
And our heart is made of...
And our heart. And we all bleed. Everybody bleed. Everybody bleed the same. Everybody blood is the color red, is what we basically have been taught. So we need to understand that. You know, before you start judging somebody else's race, or no, I wouldn't go and date them, or no, I wouldn't be bothered with them. Why? Because no. Because you putting God in a box when you do that. That means that you're truly not willing to humble yourself and accept God. Whatever God has for me, it is for me. You're not truly willing to accept that. Yeah, you say it, but then if God say, hey, I have your husband for you, or hey, I have your wife for you, and it's this over here, are you truly willing to accept what God will really is for you? See, and that right there, boy, that's a challenge right there. Are you willing to really accept what God will is for you and what He has for you? And that's where the trust issue comes in.
And you have to, But you have to make sure when you say, God, I want your will to be done in my life, your list may have to change.
No, your list will change.
My list changed.
Yeah.
Not the whole thing, but there's certain things that God say, okay, you need to get some of this stuff off here because that's flesh.
It's like when you were praying there, you was on point with that. Oh yeah, daughter, you was on point with that. Oh, daughter, you're not on point with that.
Right. There's some spiritual things on there. There was some, some things that I wanted. But even when God sends you somebody, they may not have it all together like you think they should. Mm-hmm. Again, that's another part of trusting God. Mm-hmm. If God hooks you up, y'all, and the world's not going to tell you that. The world is going to tell you the man is the provider. He better be able to provide, which is wonderful. But what if God is saying he is going to provide, but just not right now? Because that's what you did with me. You're going to be making more right now. And then Vito will need your help. And then he switched that thing. Now he's making more. And I'm the one that's not making as much. So we have these roles in place that we think that that is set in stone. Yeah. And it's not. Roles in marriages change all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
You have to know how to adjust.
And you have to know how to adjust. But if you so traditional and so religious that you can't budge, no, because you're supposed to do that and you're supposed to do that. I ain't supposed to do that.
You ain't ready. You're not ready.
Because there's seasons in your
God
life.
Know that too.
God is going to be doing some things, and the same person you marry is going to be different 5 years from now, and you got to be flexible. But when it's God, He's already put in you what you need for your flexibility for your marriage.
Absolutely.
All right. Y'all, we can keep on going, but this is good. So just make sure it's God and don't worry about how you think or your expectations of what someone needs to look like or be like or have what you like. Just be open to God. All right? We love you guys. This is your process. Embrace it, trust it, love it. Be you.
Keep it moving, baby.
And keep it moving. Bye, you guys.
Peace out.
Bye.